Everyone thinks about that. So I read in an interview that you were a skinny kid.
Yep.
And you struggled with that, or did you struggle? Well, is that true, first of all? And how was it for you? How were the challenges as a kid? Because now you look completely different.
I think I still feel like a skinny kid, and now I just feel like a skinny adult. Yeah, I've always struggled with that. I don't, I played a lot of sport at school, still love sport very passionately. And I played a lot of rugby at school, and I was never, I sort of loved it and did all right at it, but always just wasn't sort of big enough. And I think that does have quite an effect on you mentally, you know. And it means that you sort of are always striving to sort of prove people wrong, I think, in that kind of world. But yeah, I think like kids, you know, every kid has so many insecurities, and you know, I don't think you shake them off in adulthood. I think you carry them with you, and a big part of me will always feel like the skinny kid who isn't quite big enough to be playing with the big guys, you know.
But you do, obviously you are.
Well.
So you made a big transition from your modeling career to your acting career.
Mm-hmm.
What were the challenges? I mean, it worked out really well.
It's worked out okay so far, I think. But that could all change any moment. I'm always fearful of that, or mindful of that. I never wanted to be a model, really. Something I sort of felt like the right thing to do at the time, and sort of guided down a path to an extent. And I needed to be guided down it because I wasn't going to take it myself, I don't think. But without that, if I hadn't gone down that path, I never probably would have ended up here, ended up acting. I just had a very strong sense when I was younger, and when you're starting to try to make those decisions in your late teens of like what you're going to do for a living and stuff, those terrifying prospects. I just knew that I didn't want to work in an office environment of any kind. I knew I didn't have the right temperament or aptitude or sort of resilience to do that. So, you know, I'd always enjoyed acting or whatever, and the modelling thing, just I know what that was, but it happened for quite a long time, and then I was very happy to get out of it.
So I read in an interview that you shared an apartment with Eddie Redmayne. Is that true? How can I imagine this living situation? Party every day, or how was it?
We partied a bit, yeah, we did. We were, it was a long time ago now. You know, Eddie's one of my closest friends, and him and I, and there's a sort of load of actors from the British Isles, if you like, in Britain and Ireland, and we'd all come over to LA and try and fail to get work. And I mean, it really was like that. Like it wasn't really happening for any of us, and we were all in our early to mid 20s, I guess, time. And yeah, Eddie and I rented a house up in Laurel Canyon for a couple of months, and just tried to do what every other guy's doing. It was like trying to make something happen in LA, and it didn't. Definitely didn't happen. We had a fair share of rejection, but we had good fun. We played a lot of ping pong. That was my abiding memory. We played a lot of table tennis. That's how we filled the days after failed auditions.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, beer and table tennis. It's a good combination.
Okay, do you know any funny story of any craziest fan reaction you have had?
Not really. I mean, there is one that I remember. I was in what I call a lift, and people in the States probably call it an elevator. I don't know what you call it in Germany. What do you call it, an elevator or a lift?
Aufzug, elevator.
Elevator, okay. Yeah. So I was in an elevator, and there was a woman who sort of mid-flight recognised me as being Christian Grey, and she was a few sheets to the wind, as you say. She was pretty hammered, and she started telling me about how 50 Shades had induced a baby for them. Not induced, like she wasn't in labour and then read it and went into labour, but like they, as a result of reading the book, her and her partner started to have far more sex, and they got a baby out of it. And they could, she said, she was hammered, but I think she said that they couldn't have children before or something. So that's quite a positive, nice fan reaction.
What did you say? Congratulations.
Well, I don't know, what do you say? I was like, that's great, you name the baby Christian, I don't know.
Good idea, or Jamie.
Yeah.
So, yeah, how did this fame affect your personal life? What did change for you? I mean, you said you moved to the countryside, and how did your family and your closest family react?
I mean, I don't think any of that really changes it. I mean, we moved to the countryside, but we've had a place in the countryside for 6 years anyway, so we just decided to move there more permanently. You know, on the personal side of things, like nothing really changes. You know, my family are the same. I've had the same group of mates since I was a very young kid, and they really don't care about what I do for a living. It doesn't interest them at all. What they do for a living doesn't really interest me much. Our friendship is based on things above that, hopefully. So everything just sort of goes on regardless. I think they get freaked out if guys have grown up with me when there's people recognise me and stuff. They don't enjoy that. I don't enjoy it either. But I think they find that very sort of alien because it's so far from what we would have known growing up. You know, unless you grew up somewhere weird like LA, you probably aren't sort of used to that kind of thing. You know.
Did they watch the movie?
I'd say some of my friends have watched the movie, but I'd say for the most part they haven't. No.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.